Chapter 1. Introduction to Evergreen Correctional Facility. Nestled in the remote mountains, Evergreen Correctional Facility looms like a fortress, its imposing brick walls echoing countless stories of regret and resilience. As the sun sets behind the peaks, the prison transforms, shadows lengthen, and the air thickens with the weight of history. Here, echoes of past decisions reverberate through long, bleak corridors, a reminder of the lives forever altered within these confines. Inmates, each with their own tale of hardship, navigate the unyielding landscape of fear, hope, and survival. The atmosphere is alive with ambient sounds, the relentless clang of metal doors, distant shouts, and the soft patter of rain against barbed wire. This documentary, Shadows Behind Bars, delves into the heart of Evergreen, illuminating the transformative power of friendship, the quest for redemption, and the possibility of change. Join us as we enter this world, uncovering the poignant narratives hidden behind these daunting walls. Chapter 2. Arrival, the story of Marcus Mace Johnson. As the heavy gates of Evergreen Correctional Facility clanged shut behind him, Marcus Mace Johnson felt an icy chill creep down his spine. The stark walls loomed high, casting long shadows in the dim light of the intake area. He glanced around, hearts racing as the piercing gazes of seasoned inmates met his own, each stare a reminder of the unwritten rules that govern this brutal world. Mace's heart pounded louder than the metallic clangs surrounding him, a chaotic symphony of anxious voices and shuffling feet. Amidst the turmoil, he met Jonah, his cellmate, a wiry man with a weathered face, who quickly became his lifeline. Jonah's calm demeanor provided a glimmer of hope, offering essential advice on survival, how to navigate threats, and forge unexpected alliances. In that moment, Mace realized he was stepping into a harsh new reality, where the fight for survival would demand both strength and cunning. Chapter 3. Discovering Solace, the story of Clara Reynolds. As I walk into the dimly lit prison library for the first time, the scent of old books wraps around me like a comforting embrace. I reflect on the life I left behind, my career as a teacher, my students' eager faces, and the splintering moment that led me here, a desperate act born out of heartbreak. In this sanctuary, I find solace between the pages of novels, escaping into worlds far removed from the harsh reality of the Evergreen Correctional Facility. Other inmates gather around me, their hearts heavy with stories of their own. Together, we share whispered conversations about the characters that inspire us, ideas that ignite hope, a rare flicker of light in a world shadowed by despair. The rhythmic rustling of pages turns into a symphony of dreams as we yearn for redemption and a second chance. Here, among these shelves, I discover that wisdom can grow even in the darkest places. Chapter 4. Building Bonds, the story of Jack the Bear Thompson. As Jack the Bear Thompson stands in the exercise yard, he reflects on how the harsh environment of Evergreen Correctional Facility has unexpectedly forged unbreakable bonds among inmates. The rhythmic sound of footsteps pounding on concrete mingles with laughter as Jack shares tales of camaraderie that thrive even in darkness. With his towering stature, he's often seen as intimidating, yet it is his gentle heart that draws others in. He narrates an incident where a group of men rallied together to support a fellow inmate facing isolation, their laughter echoing against the cold steel bars. Jack emphasizes the significance of friendship in fostering resilience, as shared stories and collective struggles diminish the weight of their pasts. The yard transforms from a prison landscape into a sanctuary of brotherhood, reminding listeners that even in confinement, connection and compassion can grow, illuminating the path toward change and redemption. Chapter 5. Navigating Despair, the story of Samira Sam Alavi. The darkness presses in around me, a heavy shroud that clings to my thoughts during long, sleepless nights. In this confined world, isolation amplifies my fears, forcing me to confront the demons I've tried to escape. Each echo of feet in the hallway reminds me of my past mistakes, the haunting whispers of regret swirling around me as I reflect on every moment that led me here. I remember choosing the substance over the love of my family, the choices that led to my incarceration. But within that despair, I find flickers of vulnerability, a glimmer of hope yearning to break free. Sharing my story with others in the quiet corners of this prison, I discover that I'm not alone in my struggle. The nights may be dark, But there is a profound strength in acknowledgement, a path toward healing, even within these daunting walls. Chapter 6: Mentorship and Growth. The story of Richard Doc Bennett. Richard Doc Bennett embraces his role as a mentor within the confines of Evergreen Correctional Facility. An older inmate with a wealth of life experience, he serves as a guiding light for many who wander through the darkness of their circumstances. In this chapter, Doc reflects on the importance of purpose, describing how he leads a rehabilitation program that fosters hope and transformation. Listeners hear the laughter and spirited discussions of inmates participating in group activities, interspersed with moments of vulnerability as they confront their pasts. Doc shares heartwarming tales of individuals rediscovering their potential, illustrating how small acts of kindness can ignite the desire for change. Through his nurturing presence, he emphasizes that, even in a place filled with despair, the seeds of growth and redemption can flourish. This segment reinforces the crucial role of mentorship in breaking the cycle of incarceration and rebuilding lives. Chapter 7: The Quest for Justice. The story of Emily M. Larson. In this entry, M's voice resonates with a mixture of determination and desperation as she recounts her fight against wrongful conviction. As she walks listeners through the legal labyrinth, the sound of rustling papers and distant courtroom gavel echoes, encapsulating the tension of her struggle. M describes the isolation she feels, juxtaposed with the support she receives from fellow inmates who believe in her innocence, voices of encouragement that rise above the despair. The haunting melody of hope intermingles with her story, as she details sleepless nights spent poring over legal texts and the bittersweet moments of clarity and self-discovery. In the depths of hopelessness, M's spirit refuses to waver. She dreams of freedom, justice, and a life unshackled from the past. This chapter captures not only her quest for truth, but also the indomitable spirit of those wrongly imprisoned, reminding us of the fight for justice that transcends physical walls. Chapter 8: Whispered Secrets. The Dark Side of Prison Life. In the dimly lit corners of Evergreen Correctional Facility, whispers echo the struggles of survival. Narrated by various inmates, this chapter delves into the intricate web of manipulation and power dynamics that permeate prison life. Inmates recount chilling stories of betrayal, where trust is a rare commodity and fear often dictates actions. The soundscape captures the tension, soft murmurs, shuffling feet, and the distant clang of bars augmenting a sense of unease. Through these revealing accounts, we gain insight into the emotional toll of navigating a world rife with danger, where alliances can shift with a single choice. Each narrative unveils the isolation felt within the concrete walls, reminding listeners that behind every hardened exterior lies a complex person, struggling not just against their past, but also against the harsh realities of life within. This chapter reveals the darker facets of incarceration, illuminating the resilience it takes to endure amidst the shadows. Chapter 9: The Impact of Family and Relationships. In the dimly lit confines of Evergreen Correctional Facility, the bonds of family often serve as both a source of strength and heartache for the inmates. As they share their stories, the emotional weight of separation becomes palpable. Mace recalls the pain in his mother's eyes during their last visit, a reminder of love lost to his choices. Clara describes the letters from her daughter, filled with innocent questions that cut deep, fueling her desire for redemption. Jack speaks of the brotherhood he's found among inmates, yet acknowledges the void left by absent family ties. Samira reflects on how incarceration has reshaped her relationship with her siblings. Each inmate's voice intertwines, revealing a powerful tapestry of love, loss, and longing, underscoring the profound impact of incarceration not only on them but on the families waiting for their return. In this chapter, their struggles evoke compassion and a call for understanding. Chapter 10: The Role of Rehabilitation Programs. In the heart of Evergreen Correctional Facility, rehabilitation programs blossom as beacons of hope. In this segment, several inmates share their experiences within these transformative initiatives. Richard Doc Bennett narrates how he led a series of workshops focused on life skills, anger management, and vocational training, emphasizing their significance in shaping inmates' futures. As he speaks, listeners can hear the uplifting buzz of group discussions and laughter, highlighting the camaraderie that develops through shared learning. Inmates reflect on personal growth. One mentions learning culinary skills that ignite a passion for cooking, while another discusses gaining his high school diploma, a milestone that seemed impossible before. The atmosphere is marked by the sound of rustling papers and the steady rhythm of pens scratching against notebooks, symbolizing newfound hope and ambition. This chapter underscores the importance of rehabilitation in breaking the cycle of crime, as these programs empower inmates to envision a brighter future beyond bars. Chapter 11. The Reality of Recidivism. In the confined walls of Evergreen Correctional Facility, conversations around recidivism reveal the harsh realities faced by many inmates. Each story shared paints a vivid picture of the struggle against reoffending, as inmates reflect on their past choices and the systemic challenges hindering their rehabilitation. Jack the Bear Thompson expresses his fears of returning to a life of crime, despite newfound bonds and support. Meanwhile, Clara recalls friends who have succumbed to the cycle, highlighting the emotional toll of these experiences. The haunting echoes of past mistakes reverberate through the corridors, accompanied by soundscapes that conjure feelings of despair and hope. Inmates confront the barriers to reintegration, discussing hurdles such as stigma and lack of resources. Yet amidst the sobering statistics, there's a glimmer of resilience, voices harmonizing in a desperate plea for understanding and change. This chapter urges listeners to consider the necessity of breaking the cycle, fostering compassion, and supporting reform initiatives. Chapter 12. Moments of Reflection and Insight. As the inmates gather in the common area, the atmosphere is charged with a mix of vulnerability and strength. Each voice rises in sharing profound insights gleaned from their time within the walls of Evergreen. Marcus Mace Johnson reflects on how fear has shaped him, yet he acknowledges the transformative power of hope that now guides his choices. Clara Reynolds shares her realization that forgiveness begins within, allowing her to confront her past with courage. Jack the Bear Thompson emphasizes the importance of community, describing how brotherhood has helped him rediscover his humanity. Samira Sam Alavi speaks of resilience in the face of despair, finding strength in the darkest moments. Richard Doc Bennett, a mentor to many, encourages reflection on the nature of justice and personal redemption. The sound of quiet contemplation fills the air, blending with distant echoes of life outside, reinforcing the inmates' shared journey toward understanding and renewal. Chapter 13. The Power of Dreams. In the hushed ambiance of the Evergreen Correctional Facility, each inmate reflects on their dreams, the flickering hopes that have kept their spirits alive amidst the harsh reality of prison life. Mace's voice rises first, envisioning a peaceful community where he can mentor troubled youth. Clara shares her aspiration to return to teaching, inspired by the transformative power of literature, while Jack dreams of using his strength to support others, seeing himself as a beacon of hope. Sam reveals her desire to advocate for those caught in the cycle of addiction, highlighting the need for compassion. Doc hopes to start a nonprofit that focuses on rehabilitation. As they converse, nature's sounds gently seep in, the rustling leaves, the distant call of birds, creating a contrast to their current constraints, symbolizing the freedom and potential that await them beyond the prison walls. These dreams unite them, fostering a shared sense of purpose and resilience.